This morning I was reading Psalm 139. Verse 16 says, "You saw me before I was born. Every day of my life was recorded in your book. Every moment was laid out before a single day had passed." Now this is one of those mysterious things that people debate on, whether they're believers or not believers, atheists or Christians. There's always this debate going on about if God exists and He is all-knowing, He already knows how your story is going to go. Therefore, do you really have anything to say? Do you have any actual participation in the story? And again, the debate goes all over the place. I'll tell you where my faith is. My faith is that God is all-knowing. He does know how things are going to end. But He's also all love. He's all hope. He's all faithful. He's all goodness. He's all justice. But He's also all grace. He has these character attributes that He is 100% of. And if we take each of these attributes and put them together, that's our God. So yes, even though He knows how everything's going to go, He can't drop that part of Himself that still hopes, that still loves, that still holds on to the idea that every person is redeemable, that Jesus Christ died for every living person on this earth. He died for the whole world. That's the God that I worship. That's the God that I serve. That's the God that I love. So if we take that and then look at it through our lives being a book, in my view, this is a which way book. We are participants. We have the ability to decide, make decisions. If we have participation in this book of our lives right now, because we haven't seen it, we haven't seen the end, we don't see where this thing is going, we're still participating in it, then don't you want to make your book the most meaningful, most powerful book that it could be? You know, I like to write. I don't know how many of you guys like to write stories. I've always enjoyed writing stories. And I started writing for my children when they were really young. I started writing stories about them, just to entertain them. I created a whole mythology about them and coming from Japanese mythological characters. But when I started doing this, I didn't really have an end in sight. I was just making entertaining stories and putting them together and continuing building. Now I'm at this point where my kids are 17 and 13, and even over the past year I've written more on this story. But what I've seen is that since I've never really had an end in sight, it's just like the never-ending story. It just keeps going and going and going. And it's also probably not entertaining to everyone because of the fact that it doesn't really have an end in sight. Maybe someday I'll get an end in sight. Maybe I'll finish this thing and make it an actual book. But for now, it's just not like that. Have you ever been to a movie or have you read a book? When you finished, you closed it, and you just thought, wow, that was pointless. And then, in the fact that it felt pointless to you, you attach value to whether it was pointless, and you say, I feel like I just wasted my money and my time. Let's not let our lives be pointless. Let's not let our lives be a waste of money and time. We have a part to play in this thing. And I love the picture that's painted by Paul in the New Testament when he talks about life being a race. And the most important part of any race is not really how you started. It's not even how you're doing in the middle. It's how you finish. And the stories, these books, each one of us are writing and moving along through. The most important part is how the story finishes. So we're going to talk more about this on Sunday, but I want to already get those wheels turning and start meditating and thinking about your life. Are you living a life with a point? Are you already thinking about the end? And are you striving to finish this book with the best possible ending? Join us on Sunday. I'm looking forward to us having this conversation together.